There's snow everywhere from the storm last night. Winter is here. Blue jays are watching the children's play on this bright and wonderful Christmas day. It's so cold outside. We're staying in here by the fireside. I think I can hear far in the distance how sleigh bells.
Hi everyone. I thought you could spend some time with me before Christmas just in doing a few things that I need to get done. I look pretty slobby today. I'm in my loungewear, and it's because I have a few days left before Christmas Eve. As many of you know, my Christmas is Christmas Eve, so I thought I would take you along over the next few days as I'm kind of getting things done. Today I am making apricot biscotti, and I'm not going to put like the entire method into the video. I have a recipe that I'm going to link below. It's the recipe that I use. Now, this is a new recipe for me. First time this year that I'm doing it. And I tried making it. It turned out really good. I don't have a mixer, or I didn't have a mixer, like, you know, one of those KitchenAids, and I used my hand mixer. Let me just say it did not survive the process. So I was lucky enough, Canadian Tire was having a sale, so I got a new KitchenAid mixer, which I'm hoping is going to perform a little bit better than my hand mixer did. And so I'm going to make that. The other thing I thought I would show you is how I make these little angels. I've had a few people ask about them. I put these on things like my gift bags of little homemade goodies. As an example, I have them on like my homemade granola, and I just kind of attach them to the bag. I don't know if you can see. I'm hoping this is focusing correctly. Maybe if I like hide behind it. And I just think they're kind of cute. I made some angels last year, and again, I'll link the video. I've linked it before. They were different. This year I went a little bit more naive. I had this book that I bought called Scandinavian Christmas Crafts. Again, I'll link it below. And there was a how-to on how to make these little angels, and I thought they were really cute, and it's something that's so easy to do. And you could even do it with children if you have grandchildren, or if you have children, I don't know. You could do it with children around. But that's kind of what I'm doing. The other thing that I thought would be fun is to give you a little tour of my sweaters. I keep getting requests for a winter sweater tour, and I don't know, like some of these sweaters are quite old. I've kind of collected them over the years. But you know me, I'm a sweater girl. I like my sweaters. So this is a very casual video. It's nothing formal. Probably, I have a feeling the only people that are going to watch it are those of you who are with me every week and who have supported my channel so wonderfully since the journey of since my whole YouTube journey. It's also not going to be very edited, so I apologize, but I'm running on fumes. I literally am running on fumes, and I am not ready. I did brave Costco the other day. Let me just say that was a nightmare, like Kel nightmare. It was packed. I couldn't find parking. This was at like 10 o'clock in the morning on a weekday, like a weekday. Where are all these people coming from? Why are they not at work, right? You think that if you're retired that you can go to Costco on a weekday and that you're actually going to have a lot of space to move around, but that was not the case. Also, I have to say, going to Costco, overspent as usual. This is why I don't go there. Really, I only go there to buy like toilet tissue and paper towels, but I needed some almonds and I needed some baking things, so I went to Costco. Yeah, it was crazy, you all. It was crazy. So this is kind of the video that I'm doing. I thought I would start off with these little angels and kind of show you what's going on with those and how I make them. They are so easy. Honestly, there is not much to them. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. I was dying. Yes, let's start with the angels. In case you happen to be new here and you're seeing this somewhat chaotic video, my name is Reina. This is Small Retired Life. And typically on my channel, we talk about all things retirement and living our life in our 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. Today, we are having a chaotic vlog in my kitchen because I am not ready for Christmas. So I just thought I'd kind of take you along in the process or in the chaos that is my life in the last few days. All right, I thought I would put you on a camera that's a little bit closer. I'm sorry you can't see my face, but I thought it's best to do it this way. So I start off with a template. I make a little set of wings out of cardboard, and the book that I used to make the craft had this little template in there, and I just copied it. But I basically make these wings, and then I trace the wings onto another piece of cardstock or little kind of a thicker type paper. And I make a second set, and I purchased these little vintage looking sheets of music type paper from Amazon. I'm going to try and link some of this stuff below so that you kind of see what I used and have an idea, but you can do whatever. Like, this is just what I did. And I glued the two pieces together so that they're a little bit thicker. So that's what I did to start off with. Then I have one of these little vintage style wooden pegs. And again, I got mine from Amazon, but you can go to Michael's or somewhere like that, and they have these. So you need one of these. And then I have, I don't know if you can see this, but a little tiny bit of florist wire. This is the 26 gauge. You can also use 22, anything that kind of bends really easily. And I think I cut, this looks like, I don't know, like maybe 8 inches or so of length. And then I have a much smaller length for the halo. And then you also need one of these little jingle bells. And I happen to find this vintage looking one, again, on Amazon, nothing special. And then finally, I use a glue gun to put all of this together because it's the easiest thing. And then the other thing you'll need is a little bit of this very skinny ribbon. You don't have to put a bow on the little guy or little girl, whatever it is, and you can go without, but I kind of like the look of it with the bow. So that's the material that I start with. All right, so one of the first things I do is I take my little peg, and I'm going to put eyes just with my pencil on the head of the peg. And I don't know, I just like freeform them. I use a pencil, but you could use like one of those markers. I just happen to have a pencil and I don't have a marker. So I just like do a little set of eyes like that. And then the next thing I do is I make my halo ahead of time. So I take that short little wire and I put it around, I'm going to do this pen. I'm just going to put it around a pen so it forms like a nice little ball. And then I just twist my wire all the way down And it's, again, I don't know if you can see it, but it's going to form this little tiny halo. And I just kind of tuck in and twist the bottom so it doesn't have a wire poking out, or you can trim it with some kitchen scissors or something, scissors that you don't mind if they're gonna get wrecked a little bit. So I have my halo all ready. And then I'm going to take my peg and I'm going to make the arms. So I'm going to take my wire and then just wrap it a couple of times around that little notch around the neck and bring the wire forward. It's hard to do this backwards. And then I'm going to take my pen again and I'm going to curl the wire around it on both sides. And I'm just doing this to give the arms a little bit of a shape. There we go. It's just got, and I just kind of twist them in whatever way I want. And then I'm going to put that jingle bell on the very end of one of the arms. It's got a little loop and I'm going to twist it so it doesn't fall off. So now he's holding the little jingle bell. And then I'm going to take my halo, and what I'm going to do with the halo is I'm going to put a dab of glue gun glue on the back of the head and just embed the halo into it. You can also twist the halo around like the head if you want and make it that way, but I just do this. We're just going to put the dab of glue right here, and that'll also embed the arms a little bit. And I'm just doing this to kind of settle that in, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue, more glue on top of that to ensure this is not going anywhere. So I'm going to just put some more glue along the back. This is okay because it'll be hidden. And you can figure out how to make this like nicer than I'm making it. I'm just doing it very roughly. So there we go. Then I'm going to take my wings and I'll bend them just a tiny bit so that they look like they're flying. And you kind of want the wings not going up, though you can have them go up, but mine go down. And I put a bead of glue along the middle. And then I'm going to take my little guy and just tape him or glue him down, sorry, right along the end of that. Here we go. So I'm going to let that settle in, and then I'm going to make the little bow. Okay, I'm going to take the ribbon and just cut some down. This is just a really skinny gold ribbon, and I'm going to tie a bow as best as I can. I don't make science out of this. You can probably do better than I can. I think that's pretty good. And then I'm just going to put a bead of glue right where the bow's going to go. Not too much, it doesn't need a lot, just a tiny bit. And I'm going to nestle the bow in there. And I'm going to cut these a little bit. If I had scissors that actually cut. There. So here we go. Now, the last thing that I do to make this a little bit glitzy is I just dab on a bit of glue on the edges of the wings, and I put glitter on. And let me just say, I'm not doing this. I was literally cleaning glitter for days. No matter how carefully I tried to do it, I had glitter all over the place. You can also glue a little tiny piece of wire in the back to hang it up with, like I did on this little guy. I just hung up a little bit of wire on the back so I could hang it. And this one, I don't know if you can see it, but it has this kind of a clear snow-like glitter on the wings. And when it's on the Christmas tree, it just like gives it a little bit of a sparkle. So this is what I put on my little gifts. You can do it on any gift. I happen to do it on my food gifts. But these are my little Christmas angels for 2025. And like I said, I will link a previous year's version in the description below the video. All right, I think I'm going to attempt to make that biscotti today as well, which is really saying something. So I'm going to be using my iPad to look up the recipe because, as I said before, this is a new recipe for me. And it looks like you essentially mix the kind of wet ingredients first and then add in the dry. So in this bowl, I have 2 cups all-purpose flour plus 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I've mixed it really well, and I've also sifted the flour. I don't really know if it makes a difference. All you bakers can tell me, but that's what I did. And then into my mixing bowl, which I have never used before, so bear with me. I am going to be adding a 1/4 teaspoon salt. And I don't know, I just have this pink Himalayan salt. That's all I have. So that's what I'm going to use into the mixer. And then it asks for 1 cup of sugar, which I've pre-measured. Then it says 4 tablespoons of butter at room temperature. So I just got these sticks of butter. I think this is an unsalted one. It doesn't specify. And I'm going to put it in a mixer, and maybe I'll just kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure if this makes a difference, but that's 4 tablespoons, and now it's all over my hands, so I have to go clean. Sorry. All right, hands are clean. Then after the butter, it asks for 2 large eggs, and I left mine at room temperature as well, and I've just put them in this bowl. And I don't know, I used to always hear that it's good to get them a little broken up. I'm not sure if that makes any difference. I put 2 of those in there, and I will have that recipe linked in my video description below the video. Now, 1 teaspoon finely grated orange zest. I've done that ahead of time as well. This is probably a little more than that, but I like my things orangey, so I'm not sure it's going to make much difference if I put in a little bit extra. And then 2 teaspoons of fresh squeezed orange juice. So when I took the zest from my orange, I used that same one to get some squeezed orange juice. So 2 teaspoons, and that one was a little bit sparse. So 2 teaspoons of orange juice and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I love this vanilla that you get at Costco. It's actually pretty good. I'm not sure how long vanilla lasts, but I'm going to say quite a long time. So what did I say? I said 1/2 teaspoon. So 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, so that's it. And I'm supposed to mix this for about 3 minutes. So okay. And I think, why is this not working? Oh, because it's not plugged in. All right. Very rookie mistake. Oh, okay. And it says to cream it for 3 minutes, so I'm going to get back to you. Beat it until it is thick and pale. I'm not sure mine is that thick. It's pale. I really don't know. Anyways, then you're supposed to take the dry ingredients and then add it in thirds or something like that. Oh, I guess the dry ingredient go in first, and then at the very end you put in the almonds and stuff. Okay, well, let's try this. Okay. Probably don't need to have it running too quick. I will get back to you when this is done, because this part's kind of boring. All right, this was a trip. This happened so fast. I love this machine. It's been so many years since I've had a mixer. I've just never really needed one because I don't bake and my bread is all sourdough, so I don't need a mixer. So what I did is I preheated my oven to 325. I mixed the dough and it's very stiff. You'll see once I'm putting it on the cookie sheet. And I have a big cookie sheet here with some parchment paper already on it. The idea is to make 2 logs out of this. So I'm going to eyeball it. So I have 2 portions of my dough, and I'm supposed to basically spread it out into a log. They advise to put some oil spray on your hands to do it, but yeah, I don't know. Either I did something wrong or whatever, but this seems to be working fine. You can also make like little mini biscotti, so then you just make 4 portions and do 4 portions. So let me portion this out, or that. Let me make this into 2 really nice logs. I will show you what they look like. And then they are going to go into the oven, and I have to check for how long. So I'm going to do this part, make 2 logs and get this ready for the oven. I'll show you before I put it in, and then show you what they look like when I take them out. And then they have to cool down completely before you go on to the next step. Through the power of my camera, I'm able to show you what this looks like now. So I don't know if you can see this, but essentially I have 2 logs. And I'm going to put those in the oven, and I forgot to look. This is why I can't make nice things, because I'm disorganized in the kitchen. So 325, and I'm going to be cooking it for baking it for 20 to 25 minutes. And last time I did it, I had to go the full 25 minutes. So I'm going to do that again. I have to say, so let me just put this in the oven before I talk. I have to say that doing it with the mixer was definitely a lot easier. It is a very stiff dough by the time you add all of the dry stuff in. And when I did it last time, just using the hand mixer for the wet stuff and then putting all the dry stuff in with a wooden spoon and beating it that way, it was quite the workout. Now, I am sure that 100 years ago, Italian nonas did not have a KitchenAid mixer, and I'm sure they did it by hand. And let me say that I did it without the mixer. It turned out pretty good, but I will admit the dough feels much better having done it with the mixer. It just combined so well, and it had a really nice consistency. So I'm going to bake it, and then I'm going to take it out and let it sit for 30 minutes because it has to be completely cooled off before you actually cut it into the biscotti, and then it's baked again. Now, I will apologize for my lighting. It is getting to be in the afternoon here. We lose our light very quickly this time of the year. So I may have to come back and do the remainder of this video under my regular overhead lighting, which is not the best. But this is supposed to be a very casual kind of vloggy video, so hey. All right, I will see you when this is finished baking. I'm going to apologize for the lighting. Everything is cooled off, and I started cutting the biscotti, but I've set up a side camera so that you can see how I'm cutting it. So I have my log, and what I want to do is more or less cut them at an angle. And you need a super sharp knife, so as sharp a knife as you have. And I like my long one because I can make a very straight and a very smooth cut. So here we go. See, I'm cutting them at an angle, and not too thick, but not too thin, or else they're going to break. All right, so I'm going to put them on a cookie sheet, and I'm going to bake them on one side, and then halfway through the baking, I'm going to turn them over and bake them on the other side. So we want to bake them 7 minutes on each side at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's what I'm going to do, and when they're done, I will come back to you. After they're done, essentially what you want to do is place them on a wire rack and let them cool off really well. The recipe says they're good for 3 days out on the counter. And if you're going to have them longer than that, put them in the fridge. I know for a fact they last longer on the counter. I mean, it is a dry biscuit, but it does have egg in it. So, you know, put them in the fridge just to be on the safe side. You can also freeze them and then take them out of the freezer. And then I'll show you how I package them and have them ready to give as gifts. It's the next day. I had to wait till this morning to actually show you how I get the biscotti all ready for gift giving because I ran out of light yesterday. It was awful. So my biscotti is in this very sexy plastic bag, and it was in the fridge overnight. But I'm going to get it ready for gift giving, and I just use like these little kind of cellophane bags. I don't even know where I got these. I've had them for years. I bought a huge bag of them. And what I do is I just place some biscotti in them, as much as I can kind of fit in. So I have a few pieces in there, and then I just do up the top. Put a little twist tie around it. And then I take one of my angels and I hook it on there. I usually just put a little bit of ribbon through the halo like this. And probably not seeing this, but I'm going to just tie a bow. And there we go. It is ready for gift giving. One of the things that people have asked me about is this little anise wreath and how I made it. Honestly, this was so simple. It essentially, you just do a little loop from a florist wire, like a little circle, and then you just glue the anise pods on top of it and add a little bow, and that's it. I'll try and insert a little clip of when I was making it, but it's so simple and it's kind of cute, attached to a little gift. I'm going to do my little winter sweater try on for you, and I'm just going to try on a bunch of sweaters. I'll put it to music because it is Christmas coming up, and you can see my little sweater collection. As much as possible, I'll try and put on screen where I got the sweater from. Some of them no longer have tags because I've had them for quite a while, but I usually remember where I got them, and so I'm going to do that. I'm calling them winter sweaters because not all of them are Christmas ones. They're just kind of meant for wearing in the winter. So here we go.
Christmas lights are all around. I can see them now. It's like they spell your name. It's insane. Now we're back here once again. Holidays and cheer. But now I got my eye set on you. I'm not gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna play it safe. It's going down on Christmas Day. 'Cause I've been trying to tell you in every way. Yeah, I've been trying to show you, but somehow felt I wanna have someone to hold. Walking through the falling snow. I've been trying to tell you in every way, but now I'll get it done. I'm not gonna wait and right around the mistletoe. I'm gonna let my feelings show. Always got you on my mind, but I know this time you're on top of my list. Only wish. And as we decorate the tree, only you and me, I'll be making plans, make you understand. I'm not gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna play it safe. It's going down on Christmas Day. 'Cause I've been trying to tell you in every way. Yeah, I've been trying to show you, but somehow felt I wanna have someone to hold. Walking through the falling snow. I've been trying to tell you in every way, but now I'll get it done. I'm not gonna wait and right around the mistletoe. I'm gonna let my feelings show. I've been waiting for so long for you, but now I got it planned. I know just what to do. 'Cause I've been trying to tell you in every way. Yeah, I've been trying to show you, but somehow felt I wanna have someone to hold. Walking through the falling snow. I've been trying to tell you in every way, but now I'll get it done. I'm not gonna wait and right around the mistletoe. I'm gonna let my feelings show. I'm not trying to tell you. Wanna have someone to hold. Walking through the falling snow. I'm no longer going away. Right around the mistletoe.
I hope you enjoyed the sweater tour. As you can tell, I have a little penchant for teddy bear sweaters. The ultimate goal is to find a reasonably priced Ralph Lauren teddy bear sweater, probably secondhand, because I am not spending $525 or $600 or whatever it is to purchase one of those things. So this is it before Christmas. It's the 23rd. Tomorrow is my Christmas. And I want to wish all of you a wonderful and a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. And I will see you next week at my regular time. Bye.